Hello, I'm Kindton, the Tech Pro, and let's continue from where we stopped in our regular expressions class. We are trying to match a decimal number with decimal points, and we've actually succeeded like this. And we have this, it validates correctly for decimal numbers, and then let's say we try to confuse it, it validates false. But what if we don't want anything like this? If we are typing an integer, let's say an integer, false. It means that it has to be a decimal number, but it doesn't have to be something like this. What do you think will be the solution to this challenge? It means that if we are typing a decimal point, it must be followed by a digit, right? If we are typing a decimal point, it must be followed by a digit. So let's now put a decimal point followed by a one or more digits. Okay, let's leave it followed by one or more digits, right? And then followed by other digits. So at this point, I hope it's not becoming too complex. So you have a number, one or more digits, followed by a decimal point, and followed by one or more digits, right? Good. And then followed by one or more digits, like this. So if let's test it now. For sure this one is going to fail. Or if we put numbers, it also says false, meaning that there is a problem somewhere. So we have followed by decimal point, followed by one or more digits. This is not right. So okay, we have to put this to be /d, right? So at this point it validates true, right? Now let's try to see, does it work? It fails, so I think we've made some headway. Validate true. So we've solved the problem. So this is a regular expression. Let's try to confuse it once more. Validates false. So we've solved this problem. Match number with a decimal point, 44.08, a number with a decimal point. Alright, so if you have a pen and a paper, just copy it down. Now validates full name, e.g. Mr. Kindson Monanye. That is me. Alright, so how do you ensure that the surname and the first name will be entered? So let's assume that it follows that there must be the first letter must be 2 characters followed by dots, followed by space, followed by first name, and followed by last name. So let's start. So as you know, the first thing has to be A to Z. How many times will this be? It has to be 2 times, right? Or 2 letters. So at this point, let's just test it. If I enter Mr., it validates true, right? So we are making headway. If I enter Joe, it validates false. So we've cracked the first part, right? We've cracked the first part. So at this point we have the first part that has been cracked with this. The next part is that we need a dot. And I've told you that to use a dot, you need slash dots, right? So that means that you have a dot. Alright, so now let's now try again to see what we are up to. Remember, you don't have space in regular expressions, so just say mixture is going to fail because it expects a dot. True. Alright, so now followed by a space, right? Followed by a space. In our PowerPoint slides, we have that a white space character is representing a space slash s. See? So to enter a space, or to make sure there is a space, you use slash s. So let's use it, slash s for space. Okay, so what is going to follow is now going to follow the name, which is going to be A to Z, or A to Z. So let's try. At this point we don't have any number of characters we expect. So let's say Mr. K. It validates true. Okay. Let's say Mr. K, everything in one without a space is validates false. So we are making progress. Space K I S O N validates false. A reason is because this has to be one or more, right? So you put a plus sign to show it's one or more, and then it's going to validate true. So in regular expression, let's go back to the list we are working with. Okay, you always try to solve it bit by bit, right? Okay, so where are we? We are at this point. So what next is that we need a space s. Remember, you don't have to give no space. Slash s represents a space, and then you need series of letters again. A to Z, A to Z. So how complex is this? If you are given this, it will appear to be overwhelming, but as you can see, it takes us a little time to derive this. So if I enter, so it's going to validate. Oh, okay. So where do you think the problem is coming from? This has to be one or more. So if I validate, it has to be true. So if I enter just the first name, is going to be false. If I enter just the title, is going to be false. If I enter first name and last name, let's see, without the title, it's also going to be false. So at this point we have cracked this. So we are going to stop this tutorial at this point and then continue in the next class. If you've not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. If you like this video, give a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I'm going to respond to you. I remain Kindson the Tech Pro.